Hey, hello there, folks. This is a little bit of a surprise. I'm Joe Mayo, and I'm here with Tom Hunyadi.
Hello, Joe.
And this is really Tom's idea. This is spontaneous because both Tom and I went to the theater today, not together, separately,
Not together, different states.
different states, to see the new Alien movie, Alien Romulus, right?
Yes,
It was
yes.
good title. Well, I don't know what it means exactly. Maybe I didn't pay
Well,
attention
I'll
to the
tell you
movie
what
enough.
it means as we
Yeah,
go along.
yeah. I didn't. Um, well, let me see. Let me give a little bit of a background for me here. I don't love newer movies, especially horror and science fiction. Actually, I thought the horror movies are kind of getting a little bit better these days. Horror stuff
Really?
well, like Saw 10. I loved Saw 10. You
Yeah.
know,
Yes, you
and
did.
I think it's the best of all the Saw movies, even the original. That's how much I liked it.
Hmm.
And Thanksgiving was
Oh, that's right.
it was in the vein of the old classic slasher.
Dark,
So
dark,
you know,
dark meat, white meat. All will be clear.
stuff like that. Well,
Yeah.
so anyway, now I'm not trying to steal you all the time away from you. I'll give
No,
you
no, go for it. No, please
yeah. While
go.
you're over there enjoying your cigar, I will explain a little bit here my feelings on the Alien franchise. Okay. Um.
Yes.
Okay. The first Alien from 1979. I was 17 when it was out. Now I'm 62. I mean, that's how long this thing is. That's how long this
I was
series is going.
6. I was 6.
So I mean, and it's just ridiculous beyond ridiculous. So many of these series, like in the genre, go on so long. Like the Halloween series, they've had so many different avenues they've gone. They keep doing it. Um, so I just want to tell you where I stand. I did not see the original Alien in the movie theater. I regret to say. The first one I saw was Aliens, the second one,
Mm.
which I liked at the time quite a bit.
But had you seen the first one prior to seeing the second one?
Yeah, I probably saw the first one on HBO or something. I'm
Okay.
guessing
All
like
right.
that. Um, and I'm sorry I missed it at the theater, but since then I've seen it in the theater. You know, it's been back in the theaters. The first one. And
Right.
the first one is my favorite one. It's nothing original really when people say that, but a lot of people love Aliens, the second, the best.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, I watched it with my nephew several years ago again, and I don't know, I didn't like it as much for some reason. I think for me there was kind of like clowny characters and making wisecracks and things like that. That team that was on there, but overall, no, I'll give it its props. All right. You have any, and we could, if you have anything that,
Well, I will
add.
say that if woke was a thing back then, I would say that they would think that the aliens, the second one, would have been a woke film
Oh, I don't
because of the
remember that.
whole female aspect of it. You know.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. That was a big deal then. A good thing, having a hero that was a woman, Sigourney Weaver.
Oh,
Was
right, and then she's going out. She's going against the mother. You know, the
yes,
mother
the
of the
mother of
aliens. You know. So yeah.
and then Alien 3. That was I saw that in the theater. That was a little bit of a disappointment at the time. You know.
Well, David Fincher, who's one of the most acclaimed directors working today. I mean, that was his first feature film. People go back at it now. I mean, if you go back, I mean, when was the last time you saw it, Joe? Because we do that another listen, on Talk More Talk. If you would go back to watch it now, maybe you might have a different,
Yeah, yeah.
you
I
know.
think I would. It's been a while, and I think since then there's been a longer version of that
Mhm.
that's available, director's cut or something like that. I think,
Right,
but at the time, I remember the alien didn't look too good. I thought it was kind of like bad CGI and stuff like that.
right.
But I kind of looked at that as the Sigourney Weaver trilogy. I accepted it as a trilogy pretty much, and I'm the only one I know that thought it was ballsy and brave as hell to have the fate of that poor young character at the beginning
Mm,
she didn't make the trip.
yeah.
That
Right.
was to
Right.
me. That was I love that. That not because I,
Right.
I'm against kids. I just thought it was so like brave. I didn't expect it. Nobody expected it. And then is it the Charles Dance character that gets finished off too early?
Right. Right.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
disappointing. But I want to give it another try. So now, don't worry. I'm not going to be talking about all of them because I didn't see all of
No.
them.
No. Go for yeah.
But I'm building up to why I feel the way I do today about this new one. So then I see, which I hated. Boy, I hated it. Alien Resurrection.
Oh well, yeah. I'm now the first half I loved. I thought it was on its way to being a great alien film, but the second half I think they totally dropped the ball, in
Mm,
my opinion.
been a long time because that last my view of
Yeah.
that was the theater, the last one. But I mean, I always thought Winona Ryder was cute. So when if
Oh
she
yeah.
was in the movie, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. But I remember again, I have a thing when they throw a lot of it away, making cheap gags, and I remember just a lot of one-liners and gags in there or something. Uh, at least that's my memory of it, and I
Well, you
didn't
got to
like them.
remember that was, I mean, going into the '90s and the '80s. '80s was the birth of the one liner, and in my opinion, and that kind of carried on into the '90s as well, including Alien Resurrection.
Oh, and sometimes they work great. Like
Right.
there's a one-liner. I guess you call it a one-liner. I don't know. In Aliens, it's a classic line where she's fighting the Queen
Oh
Mother or
yeah, yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
and she
yeah.
says, "Get away from her,
Get
you
away from her,
bitch!"
you bitch. Yeah.
Now, even though I would like, I would cringe at something like that. It fit. It worked in that moment.
Right.
It really worked. It was from the heart. But then I said, I'm done with Alien, and I didn't see anything else for a while. I didn't see Predator versus Predator. I didn't see any. I saw one, and I can't remember which one it is. I want to say Covenant, but I'm not sure. It was about a lot of eggs,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
that I didn't see that. I did see Alien Prometheus, and that one I did really enjoy.
unless that was the one. I don't know what it was. One of them was something about, was it personalities? Like some guy wasn't who he appeared to be, or they changed their person. And I get
Mm,
confused at some of these movies. Now, I say that a lot. I don't want people thinking, man, this guy, he can't follow a plot. This guy. I always think it's not my fault. It's the movie's fault. If I can't follow it, it's the movie's fault. They didn't deliver. And maybe I would understand a few things. You probably come across this. Sometimes you watch a movie, you may not understand things or follow something, but then later it clicks for you, and it brings you back.
right.
You go,
Right.
oh yeah,
Right.
I get it now. It makes sense now. Everything fits together now. But so I wanted nothing to do with Alien after the last one, whether it was Prometheus or whether it was Covenant, whichever one it was.
Covenant was the last one.
I didn't see the last one. I saw one before that. It might have been Prometheus. I don't
That
know.
was Prometheus. That was with Michael Fassbender as the android.
I
And that was
I,
the one with I forgot what they call them, the originals or whatever, where they come onto the planet or whatever.
think
But
I remember
anyways, go
that.
ahead.
And there was a lot of eggs. I remember a lot of eggs or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, so I said, that's it. Look, I'm done. I've got a problem with. I don't even know if this was all CGI because somebody told me going into the new one that they're using practical effects a lot. It's not CG, but I'll just say effects bonanzas. I Ever since I think the first film that really pissed me off was the Brendan Fraser Mummy in
Yeah.
1999.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And when I just see like all these things going on, it's like, and you're supposed to be sitting there, presumably like, oh, wow, awesome, cool, and I'm like,
I wouldn't waste. I have never seen any of the mummies, and I would never waste my time watching any of those Brendan Fraser mummies.
yeah, yeah. So I actually saw why I saw the one with The Rock after I don't know,
Well, that
but
was the Scorpion King, I think.
yeah, I don't know why I saw that because I hated the other one. But anyway, my point is that I really hate that about a lot of, I say modern movies, but now modern movies, as I mean them, is getting to be movies from like, I can't put a year on it. Like I hated the Godzilla movie with Matthew Broderick, and like
Right.
late '90s to now, and it's no change. People said, I heard a few people on my live stream say, "Oh, I saw the new Alien, Romulus. It's the best one after the first original. It's like the third best now. This is like great. And I heard all positive stuff. So I said, okay, I'm going to go. And I feel after seeing this today that I have been suckered in again. And I was a sucker, and I hated it. And now I don't know how else we
Well,
could take this.
I'm sorry you felt that way. When I think aliens, I think suspenseful. I don't really don't feel horror. I think suspenseful, and I do feel that this had aspects of suspense. Okay, I wasn't as scared as I was the first time I watched Alien or even Aliens, but I do think that this had aspects of suspense. I don't know if you felt the same way.
No, I didn't feel any suspense, unfortunately. And my girlfriend went to see it with me. Now she doesn't like horror movies, but for some reason
Right,
she'll watch the Alien movies. I don't know if that says anything, but she likes the first one she finds suspenseful and scary because the thing that was the first time you saw the chest
right,
burster and the face hugger, and it was like a terrifying
right,
thing to see that. Now it's just like, let's give us like, I'm exaggerating here, but now let's
right,
give us like, a dozen of these things in one movie. I mean, bursting and things, and then and go over the top with it. And it's like it's almost like if you're a younger person today, I understand after you watch if you like a movie like this or watch a movie like this, why you might not want to see maybe Dracula from
right.
31, or it doesn't do anything for you to watch Frankenstein or something, or even maybe the original Alien even is a little lightweight for you these
And
days.
there is a connection to the original Alien
Yeah,
in this
yeah. Oh,
movie.
there is. So, Tom, I don't know. I go in there and I don't know what the hell. You see this cast. First of all, was there anybody in the cast on the ship that was under 21? Over 21, excuse me. Over
Over
20.
20, they were all over 21. I assure
All
you
right,
that.
20,
They
25
all, I mean,
maybe.
obviously they look young. It's a young cast, right? That's how you
Yeah, of
keep a
course.
budget low. That's how you keep the budget,
Keep the
modest,
budget low.
right? And that's how you eventually make money too. I mean, this movie made over $100 million worldwide. Okay, so this movie is going to end up being profitable.
But yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
but like all horror films, Joe, right? I mean, you end up all successful horror films. You end up having really an unknown cast, right? For the most part, you
Not all successful, but it happens. Sure.
it happens. I mean, look, no one knew who Johnny Depp was back in the
Oh
original
yeah.
Nightmare
Oh
on
yeah.
Elm Street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Well, that
and no
worked
one
regardless.
know who Kevin Bacon was for the original Friday the 13th either.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what else can I say about that part of it? It's just that I mean, the original one, they were all. I was younger then. Maybe they seemed older, and they weren't. They were older. They were adults. I mean,
Right,
I mean, in their 30s. You know what I mean? They're real.
right,
Come
yeah,
on, this stuff. I look at me. I mean, like the lead girl. Come on, man.
yeah.
I don't
I
buy
mean,
that. But
you look at the cast of Grease, right? They're supposed to be in high school, but I mean, they were all in their 20s and 30s.
mm, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like watching it, and I'm just I don't know, and for the beginning, I'm confused. I'm like, what are they on? What's the ship? Where are they? What are
All
they
right, so
doing?
Romulus is the ship that they're on. It's
Oh, it's the
Remus and
name of the ship.
Romulus. Okay. Now, if you don't know your history, I mean, Remus and Romulus that tells the story of the two kids that actually find Rome, Italy. Okay, that I mean, if you know that, then you'll get it. So, I mean, but let's go over some comments though.
Yeah,
You
not
want?
many right now, but I'm just putting ones up there. Hello, everyone. I'm putting ones like oh, it's about falling asleep. I would not recommend this one. If this is the real Beetle Dave, I would not recommend this one for me.
Well, I mean,
But then
if you're
again,
a fan of the franchise, if no, well, okay, you're not going to recommend it, but I am going to say that if you're a fan of the franchise, check it out. You might have a different opinion than what Joe and myself. And like, listen, I liked it, but I didn't think it was great. I liked the connection. I mean, as we talked about earlier, there is a connection, and you did write spoilers, so I will say that.
yeah,
Um,
that's the only
you
thing.
know,
Yeah.
now they use CGI for Ian Holm. Now, if you like the original, then you know that the Ian Holm was the android in the original Alien, and I did like that connection. Now if you follow the story, now the android in the new one, he is then inserted with the program or the chip or whatever that Ian Holm has, and he has to follow through with Ian Holm's mission in the
Right.
storyline. So
I got
so
that
that
out of it.
part, yeah, so that part I didn't mind. Okay. And also the part that I didn't really care for was the whole kind of, there is a woman pregnant in the film. Okay. Then she is injected with the xenomorph DNA. And then, so now she's pregnant. So now that DNA goes through the baby. Now we kind of had that in Alien Resurrection, right? Where
I don't
where
remember it.
see Sigourney Weaver's character was impregnated, I guess you could say, in at the end of Alien 3.
The
And then
first
in
out of her.
right, and then in Alien 4, they you know, they're able to get that out of her, and then now you have kind of like a half human, half you know, what's the xenophore? I mean, how do you pronounce the
I don't
alien?
know. But she was a clone too, or something. It
Right,
was
she was also a clone as well, but they were
that was
also
something
able to
else.
get that. Yeah, they were also able to get that out of her. So, but so you already had that kind of concept in Alien 4, so they're
Okay.
kind of like revisiting that here in this new one.
Mm.
Now the special effects, Joe. I mean, how did you feel about the special effects in this
I
one?
hated them because first of all, I saw a lot of CG. People said there wasn't CG. Maybe there was some practical effects, but it was all. But it wasn't so much the quality; it was the quantity of it.
Yeah,
It's just too much. I like sparingly using these things. You know, like again, going back to the first Alien, you wouldn't see the creature that often. At one time, there's that scene where I don't know where it is when I forget the actor. You know, the captain of the ship. I think his name's Dallas. He's in looking for it with that torch or whatever.
Spirit.
And
You're
she's like,
talking about the first one?
yeah, the first one. And
Yeah,
she's
Spirit.
Tom
What's his
Skerritt.
name?
Tom
Tom
Skerritt.
Spirit. Thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
saying Veronica Cartwright say, "Look, you know, guiding him where the tension. Look where he's right there. He's right there. Look at." And then it's like the day you see that he puts the light on, he's things like that. That's better
Right.
than anything in this whole freaking movie. You know what I mean? It's
You're
all in your
right. You're
face.
right. But I
He
mean
knew how to make
the
movies then.
director, I'm going to give him credit because he did rejuvenate the Evil Dead series. He did the Evil Dead movie from 2 years back. And I did find that very entertaining. I don't know if you saw that new Evil Dead movie that came out a couple years ago.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. So
But
are
then
you
again,
are you a fan?
there's other things
Yeah.
I would see it that's a
Right.
redo.
Right.
But I didn't see
So,
it.
and then, you know, also the logo, the W, I forget what it stands for, but that's a part of, I think, all the Alien films as well. That when you see the W logo that's on the ship, I'm forgetting what it stands for because I'm a fan of Alien, but I'm not like a diehard fan. I
Yeah,
didn't go.
yeah.
I went in blind. I didn't. Let's say, is the alien creature the same
It
as?
is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they're all the same. Yeah,
And
yeah.
what were the
It's
they were on the ship, right? They
yes,
found the
they
original
were
ship.
already on the ship. They were already on the ship. They didn't now the people going into the ship now what they don't know. We're on a different planet. We're on a different colony. Okay, now these are like miners. They're on a different planet.
Right.
Okay, and they want to they have this thing where okay, like if you spend enough time, you're able to you're free. You're able to travel or whatnot. But then they find out once they do their time that they end up saying no, you have to do more time because now the policy changed. You have to spend more
I
time.
remember
You
that,
know
yeah.
whether yeah. So then now a group of people they come up with this plan. Hey, look, there's this space station not being used. There's some pods in there. We can escape and we can go wherever we want. Okay, so they go there not expecting that the creatures that that impregnate you or with there, and then with also that there's also xenomorphs on there as well. They don't know that. Okay, so they're going to this space station thinking, hey, we're going to get in these pods and we're going to be able to roam free.
Mhm. All right.
Okay, yeah, and now and the name of these is Remus and Romulus, which hence the title.
I'm glad you understood a lot more than I did. And as I say, I got some of that. And then there was this thing about they didn't have enough days, the gas or the fuel,
Yeah, hours spent working or whatever. So
and
this one,
fuel,
the
fuel.
main character, she says, "Okay, look, I've satisfied my contract. I can go now." But then when she's at the line and the person says, "No, no, the policy has changed. You gotta spend more time." So then now there's a group of people who have gone through the same situation, where they learned, okay, well, we did our time, but no, the policy has changed. So then they say, okay, they come up with this plan. Well, we're going to go to the space station that's in obviously space, and we're going to go there. There's pods there, and then we're going to go our separate ways.
Well, that sounds confusing, even the way you described it. But anyway, I watched it. I was like lost, but I didn't care. I think I wasn't invested enough. Like, I don't care. Yeah, and the characters to me, all uninteresting for me. Didn't care about any of them. I mean, sometimes I watch movies where I don't have to care about it. That's another thing.
Right,
I always say one size does not fit all for me all the
right,
time. I mean, there's other movies where I'll say an example might be like that Rent with a Rambo movie, like one of the when he came back as Rambo
right,
later, years later. I think it was just called Rambo. And it was just all like this. It was all like shooting them up, killing, explosions, and I it worked for me. Here I'm
right,
criticizing the movie, a lot of this movie for that, but yet I like the other one worked for me. I don't know why. It's not always one or the other. Sometimes one that uses a formula I may like, and then I don't like the formula somewhere else.
right, right.
So, and by the way, like I said, I don't believe this is Beetle Dave in here. You're not going to belabor this. If it really is Beetle Dave, I think what he should do is just quickly flash himself down there before I delete it, because this guy's been doing this. I don't think Beetle Dave would make himself this, known, especially on the movie channel
Yeah.
constantly. So flash yourself and say hi. Otherwise, enough of that.
Yeah.
I'm
What
not
did
going to
you
play
think
this.
of the what did you think of the I mean after the first person had the host on its face,
And that was that
and
was the bald woman, right?
yeah, that was the
I
the
couldn't
shaved
tell
hair
one
woman,
apart
yes.
from the other because
Oh
it's like,
please, come on, Joe, you
no,
weren't
no,
paying
no, no.
attention.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. No, I could not, because it's the way films are made today. It's a mess.
Oh please.
It's a mess,
Anyways,
and I'm going to stick with it. This was everything. I just
okay,
all over
you
the
you
place.
stick with it. You stick.
I
That's
couldn't tell
fine.
who got
You
killed. It was dark. It was way too dark. You
Yes.
know,
Well, you're setting a tone. I think. So, what did you think about the one scene then when
setting a
she grabs
tone.
the light? You grab the light and she flashes it behind her, and then you kind of see the alien,
Yeah, I saw
inside.
that
What I
part.
mean,
That part. Yeah.
yeah. What'd you think about that? I mean, that was kind of something they didn't try before. I mean,
All right.
I
That
thought
was
that
that.
was kind
And
of
yeah, for a split second, I got out of my trance and I thought, "Oh, that's cool. That's something."
out of my
But I was like sitting
trance.
there and I was bored out of my skull, and I'm like, this thing's like flying all over the place, and
Well, I mean, I will admit that it was a slow start. Okay, it was a slow start. I mean, once they got into the ship and they found out that, I mean, there was more going on than what they were led to believe. Um, and then it started picking up for me.
so I mean, I don't know. I like the character of
The
the end.
android, yeah,
I thought he was, you know, interesting, and also I felt something for him. I could felt he had a personality. I could champion him. I kind of felt for him at
right.
places and stuff like. Funny, I could care more for an android than a real person in this movie, but that's how it was. And speaking of androids, you were saying before we got on here about, and a little bit on the show, you said about Ian Holm, right?
Yes,
You said
yes.
he makes an appearance here through CGI.
Yes,
Jeez.
well, I mean, unfortunately, we have to do CNI. He's no longer with us today,
Oh,
and I want to do more research on that and whether or not they got approval from the home family or whatever to be able to do that, or the studio just say, hey, look, we own that property and we're just going to do it anyways. So I'm kind of curious about that aspect of it, but I thought it was a good touch that he was included in this film.
yeah. I don't know. Just I don't know what can I say about it though, other than that they try. I know they tried to use him again with how he has special motives here, and he kind of corrupted the other alien,
Right,
our main
right,
alien. Tried to corrupt him. That was
right.
interesting. It was necessary to bring him back, but whatever. He's dead. That's another thing that gets me with some of these movies. He was dead. He was like whack. I forget what they did to him. Like he's finished. He was like all melted or whatever.
Right.
I think he even took the. I have to watch the original. He even took the torch and
Now,
torched him.
right now, I'm curious. I'm curious if there was more of him, as in other missions had that same Ian Holm, because he was an android, right? He was a special
Right.
android.
Right.
He was a number android, and I wonder if there was like multiples of him on other missions.
Oh, I wonder.
Um,
I wonder.
you know what I mean. So I'm curious to find out and go back and look and see if that was the concept. Here's multiple of these specific androids, and they just happen to all look the same.
Yeah, that's true. That happens. Maybe like the
Right.
Terminator thing. They all look like
Right, exactly.
Arnold.
Right. Yes. Yes. Because if you go back and look, I think it was Terminator Salvation, the one with Ed Norton. Was it Ed Norton? No, no, no. I'm sorry, Christian Bale. It was the one with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the movie, you see this whole whole assembly line of Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminators being made. So I mean, it is possible that that was the case.
Could be. Well, I mean, what else can I say about this? I, you know, I hate when I'm watching a movie and I'm like, when is this thing gonna end? Is this the climax? Oh no, let's go. They're going on. So they're fighting some more. They're flying around some more. It's not over yet. This is not the end. I'm like, I say out loud just to my girlfriend. I go, "Is this thing over yet?" I say, you should never feel that. You should always be wanting more, and you should always be feeling like you're invested, and it's
Right, right, right.
just the right. I mean, that happens to me a lot with movies like this. It's supposed to be dazzling, supposed to be exciting and entertaining, and I just find myself bored. I don't know. I
Right.
thought the
Well, I
gravity
mean,
thing, the
you
gravity
were
bit.
yeah, I mean, you were kind of bored, and you kind of felt this way the first time you saw the last Planet of the Apes movie as well.
I don't. I remember I didn't love it the first time. And I thought it was good the second time, but I wasn't in the right frame of mind for it the first time. Sometimes that happens. I don't know if you've
Right.
ever had that. You ever been in
Oh,
like not the best
absolutely.
frame of
Yeah.
mind? With
Yes.
the Apes movie, I wasn't in the best frame of mind the first time. Then the second time, I was in a better frame of mind. And that
Because I
was
remember, when you messaged me and about seeing it, and it was like never again. It was just like,
oh, I said that. I don't know if I said
yeah,
never
it was
again.
like here we go
I
again.
don't know if I said never again to that.
You said never again.
I said never again for Alien, and I mean it.
Yeah,
I have not seen
yeah,
another Alien movie. That is it. It's done. It's a premise that was done to death. They might say the same thing about the Apes, although I don't agree with the Planet of the Apes.
right,
That's
right,
a whole nother thing. But there's so many stories as yet untold in different parts of the planet, the world,
right,
that
right,
different cultures and civilizations that they could do. This thing, aliens get on board ship, put, chase the crew. We got to kill it. Enough, really enough.
right,
You know.
right. Yeah, I mean, I found the second act. I mean, there was if you want to go like first, second, third act, like a good movie should do, there was
Weren't there like
that.
10 acts in this one?
Yeah, there was three acts in this
I
one,
thought there
in
were
my
10 and
opinion.
12, I thought.
No, no. I mean, you're thinking of endings.
No,
You're thinking
I'm
of
just
endings.
saying.
You're thinking of like the multiple endings. But I mean, I thought the second act was once they got on the ship and they found out where they were and what they were dealing with. I found that part to be suspenseful. Okay. Now the first act, as as we're setting up, we're learning about these characters. Yeah, I agree with you. Not so exciting. The third and final act, where we find out what we were dealing with. Um, as a final villain, if you will. They kind of did that, in Alien Resurrection, like I said. But I mean, like I said, I told you. I mean, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I
Yeah,
was entertained. I was entertained.
yeah, it was. You're always entertained. God bless you. I wish I
That
could be
doesn't
like
mean
that.
anything. I always, I mean, I should start saying that when we do these, and I have been asked before on these live, when we do movie chats, that if I buy everything that I watch in theaters, and no. And I will say that I'm going to start judging films by whether or not I think I'm going to buy them. Okay,
Oh,
because I think that is the telling of a good movie is whether or not you're going to buy it or not.
well,
So
if
so
I may, maybe
yeah,
whatever criteria works for you, that's fine for you. You know, me, I mean, I think there were movies I actually would like, but still might not want to see again. You know what I mean? Like Once Was Enough, but
yeah,
it was a good
yeah,
movie.
right,
But I'm getting older, and I'm starting to
right,
think like, what do I need? What do I not want to see anymore? What do I want to see? And when it comes to the Alien movies, I'm thinking, how many more times am I going to watch them? You know, and I think for me, it could be the trilogy, the first three, maybe one, two, and
yeah,
three, and that's
yeah,
it. And again, as I say, I like the way three ended with Sigourney Weaver. That to me, that should have been the
yeah,
end of it, but of
right.
course, it wasn't. Um, and so that's just me. Other people might say, especially if you're younger, maybe say, "Oh, this is great. I'm going to keep. I'm in. I'm in for the. Give me the more the merrier." I'm like that with the Saw movies, as I said. The Saw franchise, I think they're on a upswing right now.
Right,
Um, but
right.
it's two different things, Alien and Saw. I mean,
Yeah, no, I get you. I get you. Absolutely. I mean, that was like you said, the last one was the 10th one. I mean, that's crazy. Think about 10 movies in one franchise,
yeah, and that's the kind of thing too. Where I just see, again, I admit this, and I noticed this. I just got done saying with Alien. We know the plot. It's the alien gets on, they got to kill the alien. Saw is the
Right,
same kind of thing. These people get caught in a situation where they have these booby traps that they have to go through these crazy situations to try to survive. And will they
right,
survive? Every one of them same, but the booby traps are different all the time, and there's different
right,
games that are played. But the thing is. So I find that interesting. Again, one size doesn't fit all. We talk about that, or I talk about that with music sometimes.
right.
It's like,
Yeah,
I say a
yeah.
song and I'm like, oh, this is too childish, this song. But then another song, people will tell me it's childish that I like it. I'll say, well, that's why I like it because it's good for kids. Who can figure it out? Uh,
I agree. Yeah,
I just trying to think like to get my thoughts down. Like I wanted to do a proper kind of. I don't even want to call it a review because I'm not really reviewing it. I'm just giving you my rant about it. It's
right,
just that I just found it, messy, dark, and as far as the mood, I know they're trying to establish a mood, but you got to be able to. I got to be able to decipher what's going on. A lot of people will tell you, especially older people, what's what
right,
MTV they used to call it MTV style camera
right.
work.
Yeah, yeah. And
It's
shaky
like
cam.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I mean, I
what's
do
going
like.
on.
Yeah, I do like the fact that you're in a ship, and then you're in a ship, and okay, now the oxygen or whatever comes on and starts heating up, and then all of a sudden you got all of these hosts or what you will, the ones that connect to your face and impregnate you with the whatever. You know, I do like the fact that you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these things. Now they're like free and they're roaming the ship, right?
Right.
That part was kind of suspenseful, but other than that, again, it didn't touch the first two in my opinion. But again, I mean, will I buy this? Maybe not. I don't think I will buy this one.
Yeah. One thing that's intrigued me about it, which I don't know if we mentioned this, although the way we're discussing it kind of it feels like it, is that this movie's supposed to take place after the first movie.
Yeah, see,
And
that's the thing is like they show the year and they show obviously the plan or whatever. I have to go back and see the dates and see where it fits in the timeline.
because that's what somebody had told me. Well, it takes place after, I don't know if it's right after the first one, but then my girlfriend at the end tells me they
Right.
said it was 60, 70 days or something after the first one. I don't know.
Okay.
I missed that if that's the case. I
Right.
missed that.
Okay.
But
Okay. Yeah, I missed that part too because
yeah.
again, I'm a fan of the franchise, but I'm not a diehard fan of the franchise.
Well, see, that's what they're doing sometimes now. Like again, back to this. It's funny how I keep mentioning the Saw movie. Saw 10 actually takes place after the first one. Like it's the same. It doesn't take. It takes place. I think it's after the first and before the second. You
Okay.
know, so just like this, I think this is what they're supposed to do. But I guess Aliens could take place parallel. I mean, it could.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be like later. it could be happening somewhere else, unless I don't because they don't go
Right.
back to the ship in Aliens. They go,
Right.
they're on a new, new ship. I also don't think we're ever going to accomplish this stuff with these ships. Everybody, these super amazing ships. But that's why it's fun fiction
Right.
because you
Yeah.
imagine it. But I don't think we're not doing too good in the space program to the point we're going to have these in Star Trek and all that. But I really wonder. But
Yeah.
yeah. And I wish there was more I could say about it. I just wanted to do a little video, not a long one.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. I mean, yeah, I said my piece, and again, if you're a fan of the franchise, I think you should still check it out.
Yeah, let me. Thank you for that. Reminds me. Before when I said no, I don't think so. But then again, what Tom says is true. Don't go by me. You know what I
Right?
mean? If
Yeah,
you like these movies, by all means check it out because the vibe is good. Most of the
yeah,
people are enjoying it. So I would
yes, and
say,
that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, the initial reaction to this film has been very positive.
yeah, it has.
Mm,
And a lot of people are calling it one of the best in the series, or the best since the original, or the third
right,
best, or something like that after
right,
Alien.
right.
So don't necessarily go by me, but some people have to have the same kind of feel I have for these kinds of things that I was talking about. Too much, in your face, and like mind. I call it mind-numbing effects everywhere, and not much else. I don't know. It was too much for me. I also didn't get it. Good thing I remembered. I want to bitch a little about. That's the word I'll use about the lines when people we always feel that they have to give a salute to
You
the
have
original.
to,
Yep.
yeah, right. You have to give some kind of acknowledgement to past films,
I mean,
and yeah. But go
wait a
ahead.
minute.
Yeah,
Acknowledgment's
go.
one thing, like you said. Okay, it hints at things about from the first movie with Ian Holm and this kind of stuff. But when they use
Right,
actual quotes, like that famous line that I said earlier,
right.
when
Yeah,
Sigourney Weaver, actually, I can't believe it. When the android is a friend of the leading girl,
right, right.
is
He's
defended
actually kind of like programmed to help the main character.
to help the main character. When he's trying to
Right,
get the thing off her, what does he
right.
say? Get away
Yes.
from her, you bitch! Right out of Aliens. I hate that. And there's actually people that in the old days, I think, like if you went to a movie theater at like Friday night crowd, yeah, they probably cheer because they use the line. I hate it. I get goosebumps. It's so embarrassing to me. I don't know why. I hate it. And they do that with movies. And there's one other one. Again, the
Yeah.
android character, CGI character of Ian Holm, he says, "You have my sympathies." That's
Right.
like that's the last. He said that again too. That's the last word that he says. It's the
Right.
last word
Right.
he says in the original Alien. But hey, I got it. Name check. Got it. You know,
Right.
it's like in Planet of the Apes when I'm watching Tim Burton's horrible Planet of the Apes abomination. And
Good
the,
cast though. Good cast in that movie, but he ruined it. He ruined it.
yeah, and the gorilla cat gets a human and says, "Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty human."
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
oh, come on. But anyway, so what else can I say? I think I covered everything.
Right.
So that's it, folks. It's almost dinner time here, but we wanted to just come on and say a little bit. It went longer than I thought it would.
Yeah.
So check the
Yeah.
movie out by all means for yourself, unless you're in tune with what I'm kind of saying, and you don't gravitate towards that kind of stuff either. You know what I mean? But
Uh,
because that's what, because sometimes people tend to find. You ever find a critic that you kind of see eye to eye with a lot? He kind of has the same taste
sometimes.
as
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Mhm. So, well, anyway, let me put this up here. This is not really a Q&A thing, but what
I
the heck?
listen. Yeah, listen. I love the Harry Potter films, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they. I know they're going to be redoing the whole book series on HBO Max, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle that. Now, each book is going to be a season, so they're going to start with season one. It'll be the first book, and then they'll carry on. So, saying third part of the film was way too long. Yes, yes, yes. if you remember, like films like Die Hard, where the villain just keeps like popping up, like right at the end, the bad guy pops up like when you least expect it. Same
Yeah.
thing here. You think the bad guy is gone, but no, it pops up one more time.
Yeah. I would say in
Yeah.
answer to your question, hell yes.
Yes.
I mean, and it's no surprise because I
Right.
feel that almost every time I'm watching one of these kinds of movies, I'm like, it doesn't have to. I don't know how long it was, the runtime.
2 hours, 1 hour and 59 minutes.
2 hours, okay.
Yeah.
Felt longer. Felt more like 2.5 to me. But I always say it's not how long a movie is; it's how it feels.
How it feels, and this one does feel like it drags
Yeah,
from time to time.
yeah,
Yeah, I will agree with you there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Tim Allen just joined us, but we're finished, Tim. We should turn this into a movie chat, but maybe another time. Tim, join us for a movie chat. We got to do a regular movie chat again at some point.
We do
Regular.
at some point. Yes.
All right, Tom. Thank you for joining me for this
Yes.
special edition, so to speak.
Yep.
And I'm done with aliens movies. I'll tell you, that's it. Done.
Look, a lot of people have said that this movie has resurrected the Alien franchise. We'll see
Exactly.
where it leads. We'll see where it leads from here. But like Joe, I'm kind of like on the fence. Joe really, I'm on the fence a little bit, but I don't think I'll be seeing this one again. I think this is a one and done for me.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Talk soon.